how to make him change his mind about a relationship with you. I'll be right back after this. Hello and welcome back. My name is Chengi. I am your dating and relationship expert and founder of the Black Swan Relationship Academy. Right here where we teach you beautiful swans how to present as a high value, high status and high worth woman that high quality men find completely irresistible. If that is you, then you are indeed on the right channel. And let's talk about what happens when a man started off feeling you. He was pursuing you. He was implying and explicitly letting you know that he was all about this black swan life, and you were getting in it. Your feelings get involved, and over time you start to feel him pull away. First it's this energy pull away, and then his language begins to change. He doesn't refer to you as though he is like he used to, like he's chasing you, like he's pursuing you. He becomes inconsistent, and all of a sudden you're thinking something has gone wrong. Or maybe you are in a relationship with him already, but you're starting to feel like he doesn't want to be here anymore. You're starting to feel in his actions and his energy that he really doesn't want to be here. Yes, he comes home, or he comes and still takes you on dates now and again, but things are not what they used to be. You know deep down inside that he's changed his mind, and that the trajectory you guys were on is now gone south. This can be very, very difficult. And for those of you watching and thinking, well, when I get married, that won't happen, I would like you to know that married couples have exactly the same thing. You can be married to a man who has literally changed his mind about being married to you, and that can be very difficult and very painful whilst you are still married. Now, how do we help him change his mind? How should we? Should we really get him to change his mind? Let me know in the comments. Do you think that we should invest time and effort into changing his mind? Well, to be honest, the reason you're watching this video is because for many of us, we have already made a huge emotional investment, and we have in many ways committed or probably made financial investments or real investments into this relationship. So walking away isn't as easy as we would like it to be. You know, we are already invested in this man emotionally. We are already in there. So obviously you're watching this because you would like an opportunity to change his mind. Now, if there's anybody who would tell you that it is completely 100% possible to change a man's mind, then, you know, Houston, we have a problem. I would run. It is really not something that we can do, but something that we can do is influence a man to maybe rethink. We can behave in such a way that creates an environment for there to be a change that may precipitate from within himself, that may come from within himself. Controlling another person and wanting to change their minds is not a wise thing. It often leads us into, you know, crazy behavior, and it causes us to be intrusive and disrespectful and undignified in the way that we try to manage and get what we want out of others. So you know that here at the Black Swan Relationship Academy, we are ladies and we are classy and we move like swans on the lake of love. So what we don't do is spend time cajoling and fighting and, you know, asking and sending deep, long text messages about how much you care and how you feel and what's going on and how come we're not together and what's going on. I feel ashamed, I feel ashamed. We don't do that. But what we do is create an environment where healthy, honest conversations can take place. And you know that I am huge, big, massively huge on conversations. They're the relationship sparkle dust, if you like. Okay, so let's look at it. I would begin by suggesting that point number one is understand his reasons. People don't just do stuff. They don't just wake up overnight and change. Often there is a trigger for that change. Maybe it's over time, a habit that they perhaps did not address, or something about you that they were battling with, or something about themselves that they're dealing with. I want you to understand that by the time a man begins to energetically or in some way begin to pull back, he didn't decide that on the day he was pulling back. He was already processing the process, how he felt, who he wanted to be, how he wanted to show up. He was doing that already prior. I always say to all my married couples or my divorced couples or my couples that no one ever ends a relationship on the day it ends. They ended months before, and you as a partner feel the cutoff in the relationship, and then it's only a matter of time for the relationship to end. So let's understand that this shift in energy is not something that would have happened there and then. What I want us to do in this instance is, if we can, and if we're not too bogged down with our emotions around it, I want us to really go back in our memory and find the day that you first felt him pull away and what had happened around that time span. Usually the clues are there. I remember dating this guy, and we were so happy, and it was fantastic, and it was amazing. And I remember, I had, he came into the room while I was sort of doing my makeup, and I had this joke that I always use with all of the guys I dated. It was really about a joke that spoke more about my confidence, and it had every guy I had shared this or said this to had just burst out laughing. They found it sexy. They found it amazing. It was just the funniest thing. So, he walks into the room, and we were talking about leaving each other, and I was like, oh, darling, you wouldn't leave all of this, would ya? And that was the joke. That was the thing, the whole kind of all of this, and he went ice cold. Something in his face just changed, and I felt that energy shift. But because I genuinely was joking, or, this is something that I'd always been, what? Of course I ain't gonna live any of this. Oh my God, guys always found that really funny, but he didn't find it funny at all. And from that day onwards, I felt him pull away. I felt that there was a shift in him. And I recognized much later, when I did this introspection and went back in memory, that he was somebody who was highly insecure. He just did not have the confidence to be with a woman who was confident in herself, in her worth. And so he almost needed me to not feel good about myself for him to feel in control. And, when we met, I was, I'm very sweet, very soft when I'm in a relationship. But he thought that's all I was. So he was a little bit like, oh, one of those women who knows she's high value or high worth and is not afraid to show it or be it. And that kind of brought out his insecurities. But I realized that it was compounded over time, because from this perspective, he began to work at making me feel really crappy all the time, making me feel like I didn't matter. He needed me to feel less about myself for him to feel more about himself as a man. And sometimes when we do that retrospection, if you like, going back to the day we felt that energy shift in the pit of our stomach, or wherever you feel where energy moves in your body, that day that you felt that tightness in your chest, or that shortness of breath, or that moment in our bodies where we feel a shift in energy, that is the place where you will understand better how to proceed. And at the time, of course, I didn't really know how to handle it. I was going down this horrific emotional spiral of losing somebody that I really was convinced would be my forever guy. And now I was kind of spiraling down, so I didn't even know how to handle it emotionally. But again, when I then had a chance to reflect, I realized that for that reason, I wasn't even going to try and get him to change his mind, because he had already shown me the nature of the relationship that he wanted to have. And the kind of woman that I am so driven, so focused, so on a mission to fulfill my purpose, that I can't have anybody who is not wind beneath my wings. So, that was how, but it is important that we are able to do that, to go back and understand the reasons. But also, to understand the reasons, let us also spend time asking him questions. Be curious and inquiring. You know, asking questions is the most powerful, non-provocative way of getting somebody to speak to you. You can say to him, sweetheart, I'm feeling a shift in energy from you. Is there anything that you would like to share with me? Is there anything that I can do to make us feel better? Is there anything I can do to make us do better? And this is part of the work that I've done in the How to Talk to Men Masterclass, referring to Dr. Pat Allen's work on communication. But we can draw out these moments as I feel it, like draw out that unspoken silent departure and say, I feel you distant from me energetically, and is there anything that you want to talk about? And open the door for him. He might say, well, no, or everything is good. And you say, well, I want you to know that whatever it is, whatever you are saying, whatever you're feeling, whatever's going on with you, I'm a safe space. I'm not going to get angry, offended, or into my feelings. I just want you to be happy. I want us to be happy. So when you feel comfortable, when you think you're ready, by all means, I'm here for you to talk to. And he may not take you up on it straight away, but you have thrown a bow across to him to say, look, this is going to be a safe environment for you to be honest with me. And half the time when I have done this with partners or people, I've realized that they are dying to say something. They are dying to share something, but maybe they've been punished in the past for saying it, feeling it, or thinking it, so they just kind of carry this passive resentment. And when you are in that conversations, or when you do reflect, the most important part to this piece is to respect his reasons. This is really tough, because what we want to do as women is we want to convince him otherwise. We want to say, hey, look, I can change, I can lose the weight, I can move towns, I can come to you, I can I can do all of these things. That's what you want to say, because now you know the reasons. You think your job is to persuade him otherwise. But what I want you to do at this point is to completely accept his reasons for what they are. Do not offer an explanation. Let him ask you for an explanation. If he just says, well, here's the problem, then, my darling, all I want you to say is, I understand. And I know you're thinking, but I don't understand. We spoke about this a year. This is not the point. We are not fighting a mental battle. At this juncture, if somebody has left the building emotionally, we have to coax them back into the building emotionally. And we're not going to do that by engaging their thinking and their mind and invalidating their minds, or gaslighting them, or reminding them of what they said. What I want you to say is, I understand. If he is a healthy man and good with communication, he will say, what do you think? At that point, you can give your thoughts. Do not give your thoughts unless they're asked of you. Even if you don't give your thoughts, he's going to go away and think about what he said. He's going to go away and think, oh, but I didn't actually get her perspective on it. But I really appreciate that she didn't fight me on it. She didn't try and negotiate me on it. She just said, sweetheart, I understand. And you have every right to do what you would like to do. Just let me know how you would like us to proceed. And let him be the masculine, take charge, and figure out the next step of the relationship. Okay, always leave him with the information he needs, that you understand, and that it's ultimately up to him to create a situation, to create a journey. And it's at the end of the day up to him to fix it, or you are not going to sit around obviously and wait for him to sort himself out. Let him know that you are comfortable. All you need is for him to lead and decide what he wants to do now that he has shared this information, or what he would like from you to make things better, if that's what he wants, and continue that conversation in a non-judgmental way. It's really important that we learn to have emotional conversations without coming from a place of judgment, without coming from a place of defensiveness. And that starts by having emotional conversations with ourselves that are not judging. When we learn to have conversations with ourselves where we don't judge our impulses or our feelings, we will also be able to do that with other people, and we can discuss that later. And before I move on to the next 2 points, I would like us to take heed to this advert, and I look forward to seeing you at this event. Be at this event. It's going to be brilliant, and it is free. So here we go. There are 2 types of women. One that positions herself to be a winner using a man's very own nature. We call that woman a black swan, or a woman who is convinced that she can scream, shout, and complain and change a man's nature. Now, if you are a black swan, I have decided to help you out. Ladies, I am offering you a free, yes, another free masterclass on the secrets of a man's mind. In this course, we're going to look at the things that men will never tell you, are afraid to tell you, don't even know they need to tell you, assume you should know. We're gonna look at the man's brain, how he is wired, his heart, his spirit. How does he really think? What is going on in his mind when he meets you, marries you, dates you, courts you? We're going to look through every aspect, and you will be able to understand the secrets of a man's mind. And being a black swan, you will be able to use those secrets to create the love life you crave and deserve. If that sounds good to you, all you have to do is follow any of the links or wherever you see this video, and I will see you on the other side. I'm glad that you are back and that you are a black swan and that you are going to learn the secrets of a man's mind like the black swan that you are. Enough said. Let's keep moving. Okay, then after the conversation, give him space. Give him so much space that his head starts to reel. One of the greatest gifts that we can give to our partners, especially our male partners, because they love freedom so much, is to give them so much space that they miss us, is to give them the gift of missing you. I know that at this time, what is intuitive to you is to lurch forward, grab onto him, do everything you can, perform, make sure you change your status pictures, do everything. But at this point, I want you to lean back into your feminine energy. Remember your beauty, your glory, who you are, what matters to you, and let him come to you. Give him space. Give him a lot of space and let him fill the gap. And the space we're giving is not upset space. We're not sort of foaming at the mouth or moping or sulking. This is just space for him to figure out what he wants and whether he can find his way back to you emotionally. Last but absolutely not least, if you were just talking to this guy or just dating this guy, keep dating other people. Please do it. There is nothing that can jar a man to really be urgent about what he wants from you when he has competition, when there is a ticking clock on his ability to make up his mind. If you are dating this guy or talking to this guy and you're not seriously dating, now I say this to girls all the time and they kind of half date, they half go online, half pretend to be dating and half talk to guys. They're not invested in the process, and that means that your energy is still in this stasis, it's still orbiting around this guy and he feels it. What we want to do is to spread your energy out. We want to be deliberate and conscious about finding a connection similar or better than the one that you are currently trying to hold on to. You must date more so than ever. You must engage emotionally. It is difficult. It is tough. But this is how you will give him the jolt that he needs. Even if you don't say it, there'll be something about your energy that says, I am not an open door. There's a ticking clock here. There are other people that are talking to me, and I want to ask you to give yourself an opportunity to fall in love with someone else, to develop a connection with somebody else that is bigger, better, and more profound. I promise you it is possible. I don't care how attached you are to this particular person. It is possible for you to have the same kind of attachment with somebody even better. And I know you don't want to hear that, but you need to hear it and you need to accept it. But you need to keep dating. If you are in a relationship with him, give him the space and get busy with your life. Get busy working out the things that you have been not doing, spending time with friends, working on that body, reinventing yourself, becoming the new you. Because in truth, he is leaving old you. It's old you that he has been departing from. So what we want to do is reinvent ourselves, be the better, best version of ourselves, be fitter, be healthier, be happier, be more alive, have more going on, get a dance class, learn a new language, push yourself to being better, so that while you're giving him space, he is not coming back to the same girl that he left behind. And for those of you in a marriage, it's exactly the same thing. Give your partner the space to be who they are. Yes, you live in the same home. Yes, but this is the time for you to really energetically and emotionally pull back and give them space to work out what they want. Don't nag, don't send out any, subtle hints. This is the time to really let your man know that actually I married this woman and she was this effervescent being, and maybe she's lost her way along the way. And, I can see her reclaiming herself. And if she reclaims herself, I will feel terrible that she has reinvented herself and that some other guy has seen the treasure. And that will jolt him back to that place where he has to compete for you. If you had lost the plot, lost your interest, lost your joys, this is the time to reclaim them. I really hope that this video was helpful. For those of you who feel like you're losing love, these are amazing points for you to take away and create something amazing. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. In the meantime, do take care of you. Love you lots. Bye-bye now.